Welcome. Today we are doing something that I have searched high and low and I couldn't find. So we're going to do this for you guys, and that is how to raise and deploy your Screecher. So a lot of Screechers, especially on catamarans, come with a continuous furling line. Now, difference between a drum furler and a continuous furler is that there's no drum for this to wrap around, like on a normal head sail. This one line just pulls all the way through either side. First step is to go ahead and mount your continuous furler. So on a lot of catamarans, your continuous furler is going to attach to your seagull striker or your dolphin striker. It's a terrible name. I wish there was something better for it, because I don't want to hit seagulls. I don't want to hit dolphins. That's not very nice. I don't like that. But on monohulls, it's going to be attached to your bowsprit. A lot of continuous furlers have just a shackle or some way to attach it. Ours has a convenient shackle, so it goes on as such. Bada bing, bada boo. Now that we have that securely attached, let's go get the sail. Now, we don't have a ton of space on our boat, like a lot of other boats, so we use multi-purpose spaces. We call our forward cabin our sail loft.
So as we come in here, we have a full-size bed and our extra sail inventory is kept here. We're going to actually take the Screechers and feed it through this hatch.
Now that we have the Screecher, we're gonna go ahead and unhook the halyard for this Screecher and attach it. Darling, would you release the clutch for our Screecher halyard?
Yeah, I'll go do that. There you go.
Now that that is unlocked, we'll go ahead and pull a length out to release our shackle. And this will go on to the top of the Screecher. Now that we have that attached, next step is going to be to raise this up to a point where we can get the tack, or the very front of the sail, attached to the continuous furler. So while I'm up here guiding the sail out of the loft, Paige will be back at the winch bringing it up.
After a while, the sucker gets a little heavy. So I'm gonna go ahead and start bringing it up with the hand crank.
One of the things that you got to keep in mind when you're raising the sail is to look aloft and make sure that you're raising it to where it doesn't interfere with anything in your mast. All right, that should be good. So now we've got enough of the sail out of the loft so we can attach the tack to the roller furler. So we bring it over. On this roller furler, we have this pin here that helps keep the tack in place. So go ahead and take this pin out so we can put the tack in. We got the tack in place. Go ahead and put the pin through here. And like such, we have attached the tack to our roller furler. All right, so you might have noticed that we still have our dolphin striker up. There's two reasons for this. One, it's a heck of a lot easier to do this right here than it is to do it out there. And then as we lower this, this will help tighten the sail. So the next step is we're gonna go ahead and lower the dolphin striker. There are a couple pieces on the dolphin striker. One, we have this line right here attached to the dolphin striker, and then this is attached back to the boat. This helps keep it up when it's not in use. This line here acts as a stabilization line, and as you can see, these wires here are attached to the boat. These provide the counter force against the halyard and the sail to keep it down. So the first thing we do is release that. The control line for our dolphin striker is down here. So the control line helps us to raise and lower the dolphin striker while under control. All right, so we're going to use the retaining line to help us lower the dolphin striker until we're at a point where we can use the control line to cleat it off. All right, now that we're cleated off at the right spot with the control line, we'll take the retaining line and loop it back through to hold it in place until we have the sail fully raised. All right, and now we're secure. So Paige is going to go back to the cockpit and finish raising the halyard.
All right.
And now it's fully raised. So now all we do is attach the control lines back to the cockpit, port and starboard, and then we run the furler lines back to the cockpit as well.
Okay, I have the port control line to the Screecher, and I'm going to run it back to the cockpit so that we can control the sail and tack it and all that jazz when we're underway. I'm going to take this bitter end, run it through a block so that we can put it on a winch and control it more easily when we're underway in the cockpit. And Winston's a big helper. Big being the operative word. And now that we're done with the port set, we're gonna head on over to the starboard. I'm going to use this bottom one because it has a lock and the top one doesn't. That way we can lock it in place if we need to. We have the control lines on the port and starboard. Now we're going to trace the continuous furler line back to the cockpit. Come on. So when you're putting on a continuous furler line, you want to make sure that you're not twisting the lines from the furler to the stanchions. This double block has a little pin, and then this connects to the stanchion back here. So we're gonna do that now. You wanna make sure that that is good and on. This is a piece, a very special piece that you really don't wanna lose.
Or at least have a bunch of backups.
Well, if you are ever walking your deck and you find a piece like that just laying around, it's safe to freak out and look at everything that has a ring ding.
We use the term ring ding because that's what we were told. It is a, I believe the technical term is a cotter ring, but we like ring ding, like we like shrinky dink.
Our friend Mark from the Dallas Corinthian Yacht Club, shout out to you, Mark, he taught us ring ding.
Winston, come on, over here.
This is a little cool, a little different. You pull this out, it swings open, and you slide them in. I actually prefer this kind. Just like that. All right, so our continuous furler line is all set up. One of the things we like to do to make sure that the continuous furler just doesn't unfurl, we go ahead and put 2 half hitches in it just to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. There we go. Well, it'll stay for now. So now that we have the control lines, the furler line, the sail is hoisted, I think we can go sailing now. You guys want to go sailing? Let's go sailing. That was a lot of sail. Between the two of us, that was the first time we did that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a lot of sail. That's a big sail. So we're gonna have a lot of fun playing with that.
It just caught the wind and woo! We actually started moving. We're like, no, we're on anchor. We don't want to move. We don't want to go anywhere. We just had to tighten up that furling job.
Yeah, bringing it in and out of the sail loft kind of loosened the whole organization there. Yeah, we just wanted to roll it out, get a quick look at it, roll it back up to make it nice and tight again.
We are on our way to Green Turtle Cay
We are.
for Daniel's birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna hang out there. We're actually gonna stay in a marina so we can tap into unlimited energy. We can have the air conditioner running for Winston while we go see the sights and do things. We're planning on doing some diving. It is a beautiful area to do all this and celebrate Daniel's birthday.
Yay. So we're getting there. It's about 18 knots right now. We're doing almost 7 at 45 degrees apparent. So yeah, we are just cooking along.
Yeah. It's a beautiful day to be out, that's for sure.
That is for sure.